Hello, everyone. Welcome into this Southeastern 14 preview and prediction for Florida and Florida State. It is a rivalry game that suddenly got thrown into all sorts of chaos with this past week, going on with the injuries to both quarterbacks in this game. So that is going to be it's like the box of chocolates bowl. You don't know exactly what you're going to get. You got Tate Rodemaker taking over for Jordan Travis. You have Max Brown taking over for Graham Mertz. So there's just so much going on when it comes to these two injuries that it's going to be something that we have to dive into here a little bit to see, okay, what are the pieces around them? How can they make up for this? The other side of the ball, what can it impact for its team? And how much pressure can they dial up on the opposing quarterback? Also, different things like quarterback runs, all this kind of different stuff is going to come into play here in this matchup, in this rivalry game between FSU and Florida. Let's take a look at the line real quick. Bet Online has this one at Florida State -6.5 going to the Swamp, over under 51.5. This is a 7:00 Eastern kickoff on ESPN. And like I said, both teams will be playing with backup quarterbacks after the significant injuries sustained to both quarterbacks here. And first of all, thoughts and prayers to both Jordan Travis, of course, that gruesome leg injury, and then also Graham Mertz with the fractured collarbone. Just terrible. Two guys that have been playing tremendously well, and we really, really hope that they heal quickly and are able to come back as soon as possible. And Jordan Travis probably going on to the next level. I'm not sure if he'll decide if this would impact his decision or if he has any eligibility left. Honestly, it's hard to know now with the COVID years and all this kind of stuff that goes on. And then Graham Mertz definitely, moving on from Florida after this as well. So just hope both of them get back, get healthy. They both have made, I think, an opportunity for themselves at the next level with how they played this year and what they've done in their career, especially Graham resurrecting his career. You got to give him a lot of credit. So wanted to mention that about both those guys. And also, guys, want to mention, you see here the lines, the over-unders. You can find all that information, all the trends, all the predictions, everything at Bet Online, our partner over there. We are a member of the Believe Network, guys, and as a member of the Believe Network, we have a partnership with Bet Online. Guys, the NBA, college basketball have geared up now. If you want to bet on some hoops, then you can check out Bet Online. Also, it's your top spot for all live betting action, whether it's NFL that's about to hit the home stretch here, going through Thanksgiving games, going into the playoffs, college football, as we're talking about right now, is in rivalry week, and then we'll have conference championships next week. You got UFC, NHL, every sport you could think of, you can bet on it over at Bet Online. It's your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions. All the live betting action you can want, along with every sport available at your fingertips, both on the desktop version and also with mobile access at any time. Head over to Bet Online today and remember to use our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV, all caps, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. And guys, we are going to start when Florida State has the football. Now, I will say, out of these two situations, I think Florida State's is much better in terms of the backup quarterback situation. Tate Rodemaker has, played before. He has been thrust into competition at different times. He has big targets that are talented guys in Keon Coleman. And also when you're talking about Johnny Wilson, Jaheim Bell, all these guys he can throw the ball to, he can turn around, hand it to Trey Benson. So there are playmakers around him. I think a lot of confidence can be taken from that. That these guys are over 8 yards per pass play, almost 5 yards per run play. That's adjusted for sacks and things of that nature. Not elite on third down is Florida State offensively, only 41.43%, and that's good for about fourth in the ACC. Over there, they would like to be much higher than that, around 50%. But at different times, that's what's hurt Florida State offensively, even with Jordan Travis in a little bit. So can they sustain drives and keep their offense marching down the field over there on the Swamp. That'll be something to watch on this one. Defensively, guys, Florida has just been prone to giving up big plays at different times. It's been a deal where you can look at the Georgia game and they gave up explosive play after explosive play. You look at the Arkansas game where they weren't able to stop an Arkansas team from running the football that hadn't run it all year. So that's a problem when you're talking about this Florida defense and giving up explosives. Guys, they in terms of explosive plays, Florida has given up 53 plays of 20 yards or more on defense, and that is 11th in the SEC. So, like I said, they have to try to prevent those big plays. I know Tate Rodemaker is going to be in there, but like I said, I think he's a pretty good backup for Florida State. And you're talking about a Florida team that doesn't get a ton of pressure on the quarterback, only 19 sacks this year. For 117 yards. So they haven't been able to produce a lot of pressure up front. Can Florida State's offensive line give Rodemaker time to be able to find those weapons? That'll be the key there. Now, this is a home game for Florida in the Swamp, a night game, ESPN. It'll be rocking. They're looking for bowl eligibility. So, when it comes down to it, Florida has a lot to play for here, not only pride, but also getting those extra 15 practices and things of that nature. So they came so close on the road to Missouri. Can that momentum carry over and the physicality that Florida played with? I think that would be big for this one. Who sets the tempo with physicality? But like I said, Florida State has playmakers all around. They're pretty balanced when it comes to offensive. They've won 17 games in a row. Will that help Tate Rodemaker? Now, you look at the other side of the ball. You got Max Brown playing quarterback for the Gators. Only 12 pass attempts for Max Brown on his career. This is going to be a totally new experience for Max Brown being a starter for the Florida Gators. And the issue is, I know that they have Ricky Pearsall. I know that they have Trey Wilson. I know that they have talented running backs with Montrell Johnson and Trevor Etienne, and I think those are really, really good, solid players. My thing is, I don't know if there are any players that can take over a game to the point where they can make up for deficiencies for Max Brown having to go against a defense that has guys like Jared Verse, who are going to probably be, first round draft pick for Florida State, Jaron Jones in the back end of that Florida State defense that's very opportunistic. Florida State is elite on third down of getting off the field. Guys, they only allow their opponents to convert third downs 26% of the time. So Florida is not great on third down. They struggle offensively. They only convert, guys, 36% of the time does Florida, and that was with Graham Mertz on the field. So now Max Brown is going to have to step in and try to reverse that trend a little bit, see if they can get some momentum at home early. They're going to have to run the ball with Montrell Johnson and Trevor Etienne. The problem is that's a pretty salty front seven that you're going against, and a team that allows less than four yards per run play when you're talking about Florida State. So overall, guys, I think that the Swamp is going to be a rocking environment. I think that will make a difference here in this game. I think that it will be something that it'll be tough for Florida State emotionally to come out and kind of get going without their leader, Jordan Travis. It could also spur them on to play even better. However, Tate Rodemaker on the road, it's going to be a little bit different environment for him. But I think Florida State at the end of the day just has more playmakers in Johnny Wilson, Keon Coleman that he can throw the ball up to and say, hey, guys, help me out a little bit. Some 50-50 balls, some back shoulder throws, things of that nature. And I think Florida State's better at the line of scrimmage as well. This will be interesting. I would everything in me, in terms of the SEC side of me wants to say, hey, Florida's going to pull this out at home. But I think Florida State ends up getting it done just because if Graham Mertz was healthy, I'd take Florida all day. But with Graham Mertz being down as well, I think it's going to be hard for Florida to find enough offensively to consistently execute offensively to win this football game. Give me Florida State to win. I do think it could be a close game, so I'm not going to take them to cover. I'll take Florida to cover, but the Seminoles to win at the Swamp. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Remember, we are presented by Bet Online, and we'll catch you guys next time to talk more SEC football right here on Southeastern 14.